Have you noticed something strange lately? The birds that used to visit your yard are gone. Not fewer, not quieter, just gone. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This might not be random. You might be the reason. Birds are extremely sensitive creatures. They notice small changes, things most people completely ignore. A tiny shift in your environment, a small habit you repeat every day. To you, it means nothing. To them, it means danger. And once birds decide a place is unsafe, they don't come back. Birds rely on sound to survive. It's how they detect threats, predators, and danger. So when your yard is filled with sudden, loud noises, it creates constant stress for them. Slamming doors, loud music, yelling, construction sounds. To you, it's just normal life. But to a bird, it feels like something dangerous is always about to happen. Imagine trying to relax in a place where something explodes every few minutes. You wouldn't stay there. Neither do they. And once they associate your yard with stress, they'll start avoiding it completely.
You might think putting food out is enough, but for birds, cleanliness matters more than food itself. A dirty feeder can grow mold, bacteria, and harmful residue. Even if you can't see it, they can sense it. And once they detect something off, they won't risk it. Birds don't try again later. They simply leave. A feeder that looks fine to you could feel toxic to them. And if they get sick even once, they remember. And they don't come back. Not all food is safe for birds. In fact, some of the most common things people feed them are exactly what drives them away. Bread, salty snacks, processed food. These aren't just unhealthy, they're unnatural. Birds are wired to recognize what's safe to eat. So when they see something unfamiliar or something that smells wrong, they hesitate. And hesitation is enough to make them leave. If your yard becomes a place where food feels wrong, they'll stop trusting it. Birds need one thing above all else: a sense of safety. And constant human movement destroys that feeling. Walking back and forth, sudden movements, being outside all the time. Even if you're not trying to scare them, your presence alone can be enough. To a bird, you are unpredictable. And unpredictable equals danger. So if your yard is always active, always moving, birds will simply choose a quieter place. Somewhere calmer. Somewhere safer. Even if you don't see them, birds are always watching. Cats, dogs, even the shadow of a predator. That's enough. You might think, my cat doesn't hunt. But birds don't take chances. They don't wait to find out. If they sense a threat even once, that location is marked as dangerous. And once that happens, your yard is no longer a feeding place. It becomes a risk zone. And birds don't return to risk zones. So if the birds have disappeared from your yard, it's not a mystery. It's a signal. And we're just getting started. Because the next mistakes are even worse. If you think those were the only reasons, you're about to be surprised. Because the next mistakes are even more common and far more damaging. Birds don't just see their environment. They sense it.
And strong chemical smells are a major warning sign. Pesticides, cleaning sprays, artificial scents. To you, it smells clean. To them, it smells toxic. Even a small amount can make birds avoid your yard completely. Because in nature, strange smells often mean danger. Shiny objects might look nice to you, but to birds, they're confusing and sometimes terrifying. Mirrors, glass reflections, metal surfaces. They create distorted images and unexpected flashes of light. Birds can't understand what they're seeing, and when something doesn't make sense, they assume it's dangerous. Birds don't just need food. They need safety. Trees, bushes, places to hide. If your yard is too open, too exposed, they feel vulnerable. And no matter how much food you offer, they won't stay where they can't escape. At this point, it's not just one mistake. It's a pattern, and birds are noticing everything. And now, the final mistakes. These are the ones almost everyone ignores. Birds rely on familiarity. They remember places, patterns, safe zones. So when things suddenly change, new furniture, new objects, different layout, it disrupts their sense of safety. To you, it's just decoration. To them, it's a completely new environment. And new environments are risky. Birds rely on familiarity. They remember places, patterns, safe zones. So when things suddenly change, new furniture, new objects, different layout, it disrupts their sense of safety. To you, it's just decoration. To them, it's a completely new environment. And new environments are risky. This one is subtle, but powerful. Eye contact. To humans, it means attention. To birds, it means threat. When you stare directly at them, they feel targeted, watched, hunted. And even if you mean no harm, they don't know that. So they leave. So if the birds have stopped coming to your yard, it's not random. It's a response to your environment, your habits, your presence. Birds are always observing, always learning. And once they decide a place isn't safe, they don't give it a second chance. But here's the good news. If you fix these mistakes, you can bring them back. Make your yard quiet, clean, safe. And over time, they might return. But if you ignore this, your yard will stay silent, and the birds will never come back.